All is Dust, A Thousand Suns short story by John French.
Only dust remains. Dust and emptiness. I do not know what I am. I had a name, but it is gone. I am nothing. I am locked in darkness, tumbling without end through broken memories.
I remember blue. The bluest sky, slashed red by fire. I could smell smoke. There were pyramids on the horizon. Fire leapt from cracks in their sides. The dead were a slick carpet on the ground. The warrior stood among the corpses, his grey armor splattered, his mouth open like a dog panting for air. His pupils were black bullet holes in amber irises. Blood pumped in my veins, roaring in my ears. I was running, firing as I moved, churning the dead into bloody mud with each step. The gun in my hands shook with a thunder rhythm. The grey warrior snarled and leapt to me. Rounds hit the ground around him, raising red craters and dead flesh behind his feet. He had an axe, its head a chest-wide span of black iron, its cutting edge curved like a skull's smile. I remember it singing in the air. The axe hit me in the side. It cut deep. I remember the pain, star bright and ice cold. I bled, red liquid running over red armor, over gold, red grueling into the ground. I looked up as the warrior pulled his axe back. Blood fell from the blade's edge, glittering in the sun, crimson against the blue sky. I put him down then, shot him until he was broken armor and folds of meat. I killed him before death could take me. I remember that I felt anger and joy at that moment, but I do not know why.
The memory fades. I am alone again. I have a shape. It is a shape like that of a man, but I am hollow. I am just the outline. I have hands, but cannot touch. I have no mouth, but I have been screaming since I began my fall. I want to breathe, but I cannot. I cannot remember what it is to breathe. Only what it is to drown in an abyss, to sink without ever hitting the bottom. Time passes. I can feel it passing like wind burying a statue in sand. I had a name once. It's an echo, fading but never vanishing. Forever just beyond hearing. I was once flesh, but that is gone.
Helio Isidorus.
The voice comes to me out of the black night. I know the name, but I do not remember why.
I remember fire. It was white, the stark white of a sun's heart. It roared from a black sky and remade me. I fell to my hands and knees. The ground beneath me was red dust, the color of rust, the color of dried blood. Pain, hotter and sharper than any wound, filled me. I could not see. The fire took my eyes first, and then it took my tongue before I could scream. Inside my armor, my muscles bunched, straining against metal. The fire burned through me, blistering my skin. I felt mouths open across my body, 1,000 mouths, each with razor teeth, each babbling a plea for the pain to stop. The fire pulled my body like hands through wet clay. I was suffocating, as if sinking in sand. The acid touch of panic burnt my flesh. I could not breathe. I could not move. Everything stopped. It is like a razor drawn through the memory, a hard line severing me from everything that came before. I felt nothing. I stood slowly, the dust spilling from my armor. I began to walk one slow step at a time. A dull haze shrouds the world. Beside me, other shapes move. They are lumbering figures like walking statues. Somewhere in the distance I can see a cluster of figures. Golden light outlines their shapes. They stand as if waiting. I walk towards them, towards the light. I cannot remember my name.
The memory breaks, and I spin on through the empty dark.
Helio Isidorus.
It is a dream voice shouting from the darkness. I can see light. It is distant like a moon glimpsed from beneath the waves. The light is getting brighter and closer. I'm rising out of the dark. Hands that I cannot see are pulling me. I can feel fingers gripping flesh that I do not have. I try to stop. I cannot stop. The light is getting brighter and brighter. It is a sun that I cannot look away from.
Helio Isidorus.
The dream voice says again, I'm drowning, but I cannot breathe. I thrash my arms. Cold metal holds me still. I'm a swirl of dust rattling in a skin of metal.
Helio Isidorus.
Says the voice that is a thought. I know the name.
Helio Isidorus.
It is my name.
I can see.
The world is movement, and fire, and the roar of distant sounds. I am standing on a plain of leaping fire and melting snow. Beside me is a figure. He wears an armor the blue of a desert sky, and his helm rises into a high crest of lapis and gold. Silk robes flutter around him, though there is no wind. Golden light glows from him, filling my eyes. He is more real than anything else I can see. It is his voice that called me from my sleep. I know this, but do not know why. He turns and points. I step forwards. I have a weapon in my hands. I see an armored warrior moving towards us. His armor is the gray of storm clouds. I fire. Blue trails of flame find the gray warrior, and he staggers to his knees before he burns. I'm moving forwards, turning my eyes on the world around me. Other figures in blue armor advance beside me. We move as one. There are more gray warriors moving towards me. They are tall, but hunched with speed. I see axes, swords, gray armor painted with bright colors and jagged patterns. I see black pupils and wide yellow eyes. They shout as they come. I can hear them. I can understand them. They are screaming for vengeance. A blow strikes my shoulder. There's a cut in the metal of my armor, a dark gash through metal to the black void within. I feel nothing. The cut glows. It breeds green maggots of light and closes like a silenced mouth. I turn my head. I see a warrior pulling back his blade for another strike. His face is bare and his beard is wet and red with blood. A cut runs across his face from temple to cheek. I can see white bone in the open lips of the wound. He is a pace for me. I do not know how he got so close. I fire! My weapon is low, and the rounds tear the warrior's legs off in a blaze that burns even after he falls. His flesh begins to cook inside his armor. I take a pace forwards, stepping through the flames. I pause. Memories swirl in the darkness within my skin, rattling like sand against bronze. I watch the grey warrior burn, become ash, become dust. I know this should mean something, but in my memory there is only the emptiness that drowns all else. I am an outline held in a dream falling, and this moment means